Hey, what's up, everybody? We're back with another Reddit Ask Me Anything with ElGallo, Bryan Duran. How you doing, sir?
How you doing, my brother? How you doing
I'm
today? Had a good
I'm
New
great.
Year's?
It was a good New Year's. It was it's weird. It's a weird year up here. There's no snow yet, and it's starting to get cold today and spit a little snow. I'm up in northern Wisconsin, so it's
Oh wow, and there's no snow this year?
we've gotten snow a couple times, but it's only been like a light amount, and it's melted, which is weird because usually like in October, November we get snow and it stays till like March. So
Definitely. Midwest is like that.
yeah,
That's
yeah.
surprising. How
How
you doing?
how long have you been in the States?
I got here on a boat when I was 9 years old. So I've been here, I'm 28, 19 years, I'll say.
Do you
19. Yeah.
do you remember a whole bunch like about the trip? I mean, that sounds like terrifying for a 9-year-old. Like, I mean, like
Yeah. And I did it on my own too. I escaped.
I had no idea you did it by yourself. I knew you
Oh
were
yeah.
you
I
came.
have a
That's
crazy story, man. Yeah.
could you share it? Like, could you share the
Yeah.
story?
My pops had left Cuba because he was basically running from the law in a way from feeding us because in Cuba, I don't know if you heard, if you spoke
Okay.
to any Cubans before, it's illegal to even eat red meat in Cuba.
Oh wow.
So you get 30 years if they catch you with a steak in your house. So my dad was one of those guys that was like, man, screw that. I gotta feed my family. I don't care what's good or wrong. I'm not stealing from nobody. I'm just gonna feed my family. And
Yeah.
there's always somebody that sees and tells. So he ended up leaving when I was one, and I always wanted to be around my dad. My dad was my role model, man. That guy, my dad was a fighter his whole life. I always wanted to be like him. And man, I wanted to meet him so bad. So one day I had my cousin was coming, and I had the opportunity to get on the boat behind my mom's back at 3 in the morning, and I got on the boat and I left, man.
That's not so
Crazy.
like. And you like. I mean, how did you like leave a note for your mom, or you're just like,
No,
oh,
man, I was so young that I was just like, man, crazy. Like I just left, bro, crazy. I
that
don't
is
even know how I
crazy.
made it. We literally had to pedal with our feet because we had like a inner tube of a tire. And
Yeah.
something happened. I don't remember what it was. The Coast Guard. I don't remember. It was something crazy in the middle of the night. I just remember that they picked me up, threw me in the water with my vest on, and we had to pedal with the inner tube like 4 miles at least. Yeah,
Oh,
it was
that is
crazy. It was
nuts.
pretty crazy, intense.
Well, then, I mean, and then people wonder where you get your fighting spirit. Like 9 years
Yeah.
old, like fleeing a country to come here and swimming through the ocean. That's nuts, man. I had
That's
no
what I
idea about
say.
that.
Like, what can a man do to me? Like, that's how I tell everybody. Like, there's no fear in my heart. Obviously, we all get nervous because the crowd, the camera. It's normal. It's like if you go sing on a stage, nothing's gonna happen to you, but you're still nervous. Same thing. But when it comes to fear to another fighter, I don't see that. No man could ever put fear in my heart, bro. Like, you know. Plus, the lifestyle I took on upon myself, for various reasons. It wasn't the easy one either. So I'm already used to the being in the heat, bro. So it's just nothing new. It's just another day in the office, bro.
So, what makes you more nervous, fighting or the rapping career, your singing career?
I'll say, bro, the singing career.
Yeah.
Because it's like you got to win the crowd. Here you already got the crowd. People are your fans. Are your fans, 100%. They come and they buy tickets off you. They buy tickets online to go see you. It's different. It's a little different. And the energy that I always get, I don't know if you see my fights, like the energy I get in my city is insane. So it's just, I get a little nervous, but the second I walk out, I'm already hyped up, full of energy, and I hear my name screaming. So I know this is meant for me. I feel like a gladiator back in the wrong days in the Coliseum, like literally. It's crazy, man.
You do seem like you're one of those guys that was probably born in the wrong era. Like you would have absolutely thrived back then, like fighting for like in the gladiator arena. That's suited for you.
Definitely. I tell everybody, I feel like I'm connected, bro. Like I believe in God. I always put God first, man, always. But I do believe that I did have another life. I feel like there is something about me that I still haven't figured out yet, and I'm on the way to figure it out. And I try to dig deep in my mind, and I connect a certain way with myself in that ring that is just it's something that I can't say fearless, because fear is something good. You got to use it. That's how you don't get too comfortable. I don't overlook that one guy in the ring, no matter who's in front of me. The guy could
Mm-hmm.
have been a record of 0-10, and I'm still gonna a punch can land. So I always take everybody serious, man. And I think that's what takes me far. That I don't overlook anybody ever. No matter how confident I am, I know I'm gonna win, but I don't go in there like comfortable. No, no, no. I go in there focused like I cannot make a mistake. So and every fight, I feel like I develop little by little, a little more every time. Definitely
Okay,
do.
so I'm going to ask you probably the hardest question you've been asked. What color is your hair going to be for this fight?
Oh, I'm gonna do pink again.
Pink. All right, good.
Yes, sir.
That's I love that you like have fun with it. You know what I mean? Like that's what I love
Definitely.
about you. You're passionate. Like you
I
let it
just
shine
feel
through.
like when I do the pink, everybody like tunes into it. Like, oh, that's that guy. Like I noticed that every time I do the pink hair, is like I get more views, I get more attraction. People talk more smack, so it's just like everything's good. I like it. Everything negative, positive, just throw it at me. I'm still gonna run it up. you know.
All right, so right now I would say 145 and 155 are probably the two most stacked divisions on the roster. Who at 145 do you like respect? Is there anybody at 145 you respect, or
I respect
like
everybody.
okay,
Everybody. Even the people that are not in the rankings. There's people that are not in the rankings. They're tough, dude. Like there's some guys that only fought twice and they're tough, you know? And people are overlooking those guys for whatever reason. They don't sell tickets, they're not famous, whatever reason. But there's a lot of tough guys at 145 that haven't gotten exposure. Like I'll say honestly, the least I'm worried about is the top five guys.
okay,
I'm being honest. There's only one guy there that has power, and it's Brandon Superman, and you can tell he has some type of power because he's already older and stuff. Bone densities is, I could tell his bone density is there already. He's a grown man, a full
right,
on. I'm 28, so I know I've seen the difference between 25 and 28, and I can only imagine at 34 like him.
yeah,
So yeah, man, that's the only guy that I would say that has some type of power that you got to go in there for real. But then again, my style of fighting, nobody could take it. Nobody could take heat with bare knuckles. Nobody. And I'm not. And the way you land behind the heat is by not being offensive enough. And I feel
right,
like all these guys think, oh, I'm gonna run backwards, let Gallo get tired, and that's their biggest mistake. Because what happens there is that you be playing my game. I want you to be on your back foot. I
absolutely,
want you to punch me running back. So I run through the punches when you're running back. It's different when you try to come forward, and then it's dangerous for them when they come forward because I do have God given power, bro. I have that touch, and if they will come forward, it's like you in the bad no matter what when you get in the ring with me because I'm a guy that I could take the heat. Like I said, I've been in the heat my whole life.
sure,
Since 9 years old, I jumped in the water. I was surrounded by sharks. I was surrounded by coast guards. I was surrounded by
crazy,
gunshots. I was surrounded by everything during my life. I've been in a car, 4 people dead. I'm the only one alive. Like, trust me, I've been in the fire. So, brother, my life was meant for this sport, and I feel like God put me through so much just to this opportunity because I'm the only fighter in the bare knuckle roster that went straight from the streets, no amateur record, no nothing, boom, sneak my way in there and made it happen. And I'm 5-0 with 5 knockouts, and I haven't hit nobody in the chin, how Brandon Allen has. So
yeah,
obviously, anybody gets hit in the chin, they're going to sleep. But I make these men quit. These grown men are quitting on me. They don't want no type of. They get hit once or twice. They're like, yeah, I'm not gonna go 5 rounds with this guy. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like that shows a lot of who I am because anybody could clip somebody and somebody could go lights out.
sure.
But not everybody makes people quit and question their manhood in the ring. So, yeah, bro, there's a lot of little things that I've been working on and I notice about myself.
Can you
So,
tell us how you snuck onto the roster and got I mean, like you said, you came from the streets and you're suddenly on the card. Like, how did you finagle that?
can't talk about it too much, but let's just say that's the reason why there's an amateur prospect now.
Yeah, yeah, all right. No, and I know you're very like you help out with the prospects, so I think that's great that you're able to give back.
No, yeah, I want to help those kids because, like I said, they have an opportunity I didn't have, and I feel like that's great because there was a lot of things that I had to learn in the fights. Like while being there, from hand conditioning, I had to get my hands stronger. I had to realize that you can't train with gloves like most of the time, especially when you're on the bag. You got to be on the bag unless your coach, like my coach, sometimes puts me in drills with gloves because we're going in and out with the pads, and I'm the only guy in every gym that nobody wants to catch pads with no gloves. Like literally, they'll catch the heavyweights, but they don't want to ever touch my
Right.
hands with my knuckles. So, I feel like there's a science to the sport, and I feel like I'm one of the fighters that's figuring it out. Not only because I have way more experience fighting bare knuckle than all these guys, because I fought in bare knuckle my whole life. So that's another thing too. A lot of these guys are athletes.
Sure.
Like they fight with gloves, they taking care of their hands, this and that. Like I come from a rugged lifestyle, so it's like the mindset is like, what can you do? So yeah, bro. The conditioning is the main thing with your hands in this sport because you want to be able to swing full on. And I know you've seen a lot of guys hold their power back because they're scared to
Sure.
break their hand. You
Yep.
know, I don't care. I swing hard because I know my hands are built.
So I'm friends with Keegan Vandermeer, and he said he met you, and he said the one thing he took away is you have the craziest knuckles he's ever seen, and that he hopes that one day he can have a fist like you. Like,
Yes, sir.
yeah,
It's a box.
yeah. So we see you doing super unconventional training. Is that something you came up with, or like where did the punching or the metal hammer and getting hit with the wood, like where did that come from?
Um, like I said, my pops, I used to look up to him my whole
Yeah,
life. And my pops was one of those guys that have to this day one of the most abnormal fists you're ever gonna see in your life. Like my dad to this day, he could punch through a wall if he can. Like like my dad used to open locks in Cuba when he used to be in the schools. They used to put away, like I said, the food. They used to put it away from the kids, and they only give it to like the outside kids that come to university, like
yeah,
the Americans, the people from Russia, all that. They're the ones that got the good food. The Cubans will have like horrible food. So
okay,
him and his friends will have to sneak up to get some food to not be able to die. So he used to. Everybody told me that he used to open the big locks. Like I'm talking about some huge locks that they had in those foods, and he used to open them with the hands. How hard he hit them, he used to open them. So my dad always told me how to condition my hands. Since he saw that I started fighting, he was like, "If you're gonna do something, you got to do it right. This is what you got to do. If you to never break your hands, and when you hit somebody, you're gonna break their bones." And I've been doing it. And it's proven. I've broken everybody's over bones that I got in the ring with, or I've broken something, their
yeah.
wrist, I've broken their ribs, but I always break a bone when I hit people. And I don't feel it in my hands. I never get hurt anymore. Like I hit and it feels like a punching bag, you know? So my pops, I'll give it to my pops. And obviously doing my research too. I like to look into a lot of monk exercises. That's why I hit the wood in my body. I hit the
Okay.
wood in my arms. So it's like whenever I put my hands up, you can hit me with a hammer. I'm not gonna feel it, you know? So yeah.
So I feel like a lot of people see you doing those videos. They're like, "Oh, he's just doing that for some views," but that's legit how you train. Like,
No, that's literally my training. That I do this every day of my life. Even when let's say my coach can't come in the gym for whatever reason, he got something going on, family or anything. I'm at my best friend's house, which is like the guy that trains me all the time, that he's with me all the time, the big dude that you always see me with the wood. Like me
mhm.
and Leo, his name is Leo. Leo always helps me out, man. He's always me and him always coming up with different things. We do our research. What can you do? We see shit online and like I'm sorry for the bad word. We
No,
see
you're
things
fine.
online and we go ahead and try it out, you know, and some stuff makes sense, some stuff don't, some stuff we're like, yeah, that's gonna get us hurt, but this actually works, you know, but bro, I'm just a extremist. Like I cannot,
Yeah,
either I'm not doing it at all, or I'm all in to another level, and that's what takes me away from a lot of fighters. A lot of fighters are too careful what they do. They don't put the extra mile in, and that's what I do. I put the extra work. Like I do my work at the gym, my conditioning with my coach, and then I go home and I do my own type of workouts. And it doesn't have to be, let's say, if I do in the morning pad work and like regular back work, like boxing stuff. With my conditioning coach that night, I'm doing cardio all on, or I'm doing legs. You know, I'm doing some type of weights, you know, to help me get stronger. And then I come home and I do my physical condition, meaning my knuckles, my legs, my forearms. I'm so sorry, my forearms, my wrists. I like to do pushes a lot on my wrist because the wrist is one of the most important things. You know,
sure.
even the way I hold my fist, nobody holds their fist like me. I can't show it online because if I ever see you in person, I'll show you what I do.
Okay,
How I don't break my hands anymore. Why when I hit people they fall? Because the way I even hold my knuckles is different than everybody. I
awesome.
never met somebody that holds their hand like me, and it comes from my pops once again. So yeah, man.
Well, it's a good thing you came over here and met him. He's giving you all these secrets to being completely
Yeah,
successful.
yeah, bro. It's like I said, bro. I got put in the sport at the perfect time. Not when it's starting, not when it's too late that everybody like right in the middle, you know. And like I said, bro, I already had gone through stuff that made me tough for the sport, and I see like, look, all respect to Ross. What's his name? The guy that fought Mike Perry the second fight,
Oh,
Roswell, Rockwell. What's his
yeah,
name?
Rockwell. Rockwell. Yep.
Rockwell.
Luke
Have you
Rockwell.
seen,
Yep.
bro? Have you seen that guy boxing with gloves, and have you seen him in the MMA? That guy's an animal.
Yeah.
But now, when he gets hit with bare knuckle, he was like, "What is this?"
Not
I've
today.
been there before. I got hit
Yeah.
with crowbars in the street. I got hit with bats. Like, there's nothing that can break me, you know. So it's like you have to kill me. I'm like, you think Good John? I'm like Good John, just the Cuban version. You know, I could take a beating, and I'm
Yeah.
still coming forward. And to this day, thank God that it hasn't happened, and I don't plan on any time letting that happen. But yeah, man, the conditioning, brother. That's the most important thing. Once again, I've said it like 10 times, but conditioning. Yes,
Okay,
sir.
so let's talk Louis. Like he's going to be probably your biggest challenge so far to date. If you agree or not, it's up to you.
No,
But
I
I
don't
mean,
agree.
you
I
don't
think
agree.
I think Aguilar was my biggest opponent for the simple fact that he could take more damage than everybody.
Okay,
That guy, bro, I hit him over 200 times in the first 2 rounds. You know, um, obviously that I don't know if you heard about it. I almost died the day of the weigh-in with
oh,
that fight. I
I
had
didn't
kidney
hear.
failure,
Oh
and the
wow.
doctor told me not to fight, and I still went in there and I fought. Like I had to go to the hospital after weigh-in, and they told me, "Yo, this kid shouldn't fight. He's gonna die if he passes the second round." And I went 3 rounds. I got to the back
Wow.
and I fainted. Literally, I'm seeing Aguilar get stitched up, and I fainted. So like I had a really hard weight cut. My legs weren't there since the first punch I threw. My legs gave up on me. The guy was all the whole time grabbing onto me. Sorry, he
You're
was
fine.
grabbing onto me, clinching on me, which gets your legs even more tired. And it's like I was fighting myself. I literally was a point of the fight that I was telling myself right foot, left foot to be able to move, you know? And I feel like that was my biggest challenge. I'm not gonna say Louis is not a good opponent. He is. The guy is probably the fastest hands I've seen yet.
Okay.
But not the fastest hands I've seen in a fight because I train and I spar and I train with elites. You know, I come out the same gym as Palomino, so you can imagine the training we do. He's the world champ for a reason, pound for pound. And one of the biggest things that I can say that the reason he's there is because of the coach, El
Sure.
Tigre.
Yep.
And you know, El Tigre says to himself, "I'm the hardest hitters he ever trained." You know, I'm the guy that catches on to things like this. Like I just started training wrestling like a month back, and I'm already wrestling with the top dogs that are Olympics. You know, Olympian guys that I'm there wrestling with, and they're like, "How did you learn in a month?" It's just that's just a blessing, bro. It's a blessing. It happened in my blood too. Like I said, my pops was like one of the number one guys in Cuba in his weight class. So yeah, man. Yeah.
Is the goal to go MMA, or you're good with just sticking with bare knuckle? You're just doing the wrestling for
No,
fun.
no, no. I'm just doing the wrestling to learn the clinch and get that extra cardio in because
Okay.
wrestlers do have an extra gas tank that boxers don't and MMA guys don't unless they do a lot of wrestling. You
Sure.
know, so yeah, bro. I just feel like Louis Lopez is overlooking me. I don't overlook him. I don't underestimate him at all. I'm going in there like if I'm fighting the best of the best. It's how I do with every fighter that I go in. I don't take nobody light, and he's taking me really lightly. Um, and imagine my last 5 opponents, I finished all of them, and all of them were super respectful, super nice, smiling all the time to me before the weigh-in, after the weigh-in, before the fight when we saw each other in the back. Good luck, this and that. Every single opponent's been like that, right?
Okay.
The only guy that's been talking about me has mentioned my kids, has mentioned personal things that he, you know, after that little thing that was going online, he was like calling me what people were calling me for no reason, you know,
Sure.
just to try to get in my head, and he had no idea what even happened. So like I have a little thing for him, you know, like I want to hurt him really bad. Like I want to be the guy to retire him, and I want to be able to punch a lung or something, you know, when I break his ribs, you know, I want to be able to do something that he ends up in a stretcher and have to carry him out, you know. And it sounds messed up, it sounds evil, but the stuff he said is a little more evil than how I feel. And at the end of the day, he signed the contract, so that's on him, you know. And he thinks that I'm a midget. He thinks that he can run around me, that he's gonna be there jabbing me all night, and I'm not gonna be able to do nothing. That he's gonna knock me out. I don't know where he got this delusional from. Maybe the drugs. I don't know, but he's gonna run into the biggest brick wall he's ever ran into because I'm the toughest guy he's ever gonna face. Remember, I don't know if you heard my story. I come from 210 pounds straight muscle, and I had to drop
Okay.
weight.
Oh
You
wow.
know, yeah, I could literally put pictures. I'm gonna send you a DM later with my pictures, so
All
you
right,
can see.
man.
You can be like, "Yo, Duran ain't no joke." Like, I'm a big boy. I go down 30 pounds every time I fight. Like, I only stand at 145, 155, like that range. Like a month before the fight. Like right now, I'm 158. You know,
Okay.
and I stay in that range right there only for camp. Like when I'm really in camp. Then after I go back to my weights, doing my weights and this and that, and I go back to blowing up. And my body's just like that. Like right now, if I go eat rice right now and whatever I want, boom, I'll go back to 170 by tomorrow. You know?
Sure.
So he doesn't know what he's getting himself into, and talking is just gonna dig him deeper and deeper, deeper in that hole. Because I'm super respectful, man. I never talk bad about my opponents. I respect everybody that gets in there. I think everybody's a champion. Anybody that signs a contract against anybody that gets in a bare knuckle fight, he's a true warrior, man. And I respect every fighter in the roster. And he's a guy that talks about every fighter he fights. He's still bugging on HD about that fight that was not. He didn't even beat him. He just cut him and to stop the fight. You know,
Right.
he's still acting like he beat HD when HD would have killed him in the second round. So it's just like he has no idea what he's getting himself into, and we all know that Louis gasses out after the second round. So, and he doesn't
So
have a coach. He doesn't have a coach. Like you don't have
yeah.
anybody pushing you to your limits. He was the other day putting like ice on his legs, like he was like dead, like oh, I'm working my leg. No, you're hurting yourself. You're not supposed to feel like that after training. You're not
Right.
supposed to be feeling like you can't sit down to take a shit, bro. Like no, you're hurting yourself. So I'm just letting him beat. I'm not fitting into any of his BS. I'm just gonna wait for the right moment in the fight, and I'm gonna put him lights out.
Okay, so that's what I was going to ask you. If you were, if your goal was to hit him so that he would quit, or if you were going to try to catch him in the chin and put him out.
I'm gonna try to catch him to the chin, but then body shot's gonna hurt him, man. I know it.
Sure.
I'm knowing, like, one thing I know about Mexicans, you hit them in the face, they're not gonna fall. The second you hit the body, they're done. Every
Okay.
single one of them. Like, I promise you, every single one of them. And like I said, they don't do the conditioning that I do with my abs and stuff. So I know that their core is not as tough as mine. You could hit me with a bat in my core, and you're gonna break the bat.
Well, we've seen you doing that, so I believe that.
That's the thing about me, man. I'm an extremist, bro. I do everything to the extreme. Everything.
It sounds like you're super passionate. That's what I like about you. You're passionate
Yes,
about
brother.
stuff.
And I got three beautiful kids. My second son is special. I don't like to say what he is, because I don't like the tongue is really
Sure.
tough. It's a really strong weapon that we have. A lot of humans
Yeah.
don't know. Our tongue is really strong. We pull a lot of things, but one of my sons is special and stuff. So like he's my number one fan, bro. And he's like the fan of everybody. Like he's a fan of everybody. Like even Tony Soto, I don't like Tony Soto much. He talks a lot too, like Louis. But my son is his fan, and I support him every time Tony fights. I put the fights for him because at the end of the day, it's his happiness what matters. And every time that I fight, they're there. My kids are there watching me in the stands right there. So it's like I could never go out like that. I
Sure.
gotta do it for them, and I gotta show them that we're winners. Our last name stands for something, and I want to teach them that even if I'm able to give them the life that I couldn't have, that they still gotta work hard for theirs. And that's the only way I can do it, by coming home after I come from the gym and I'm having a conversation with them. But while I'm having a conversation, I'm doing my abs or hitting myself with the wood or doing
Sure.
something, and they're learning to do that. Like my oldest son plays soccer, and he's an extremist too with soccer.
Okay.
He gets home and he's there with the ball, all day with the ball, and that's what I'm teaching my kids to be, and is a bigger picture in the background on my reason why, it's a bigger picture that I don't think Louis understands that yet. It's like you're literally in the middle of my kids' food. You're literally trying to take everything they have. Forget about me. Screw me. I'm just
Yeah.
the guy doing the work that God put to do the work. I'm just doing what God wants me to do, what God is letting me do. You know, God first at all times, and I teach my kids that every day. God first, but I'm here to protect them. God put me to protect them and do it for them. So nobody could take that from me because then I'm failing my family, man. It's not just about winning. It's not about a title. Like I told everybody, money is important. We need it. Of course, I'm gonna ask for the most money they can give me, obviously, because we need to survive. We need to be comfortable. I want to give the life to my kids. But
Sure.
it's bigger than money, man. It's a lot bigger than money. I'm showing something to my kids. I'm proving my kids that anything is possible. That their dad in 2 years have reached levels that people in 20 haven't. So it's a bigger picture, man. And you
Oh,
guys will see February 2nd. You guys will see what I'm gonna do.
okay. So you wanted to be like your dad. Your dad's a fighter. You want to be like him. So clearly, your kids see you. Their dad's a fighter. Do you want your children to grow up to be fighters, or do you hope they're able to find their own way?
I'd rather them find their own way,
Sure.
but just like my pops wanted me, he always kept me away from fighting. That's why it took so long to do it.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but bro, like if that's what they want to do, they're gonna have the best example, and I'm definitely gonna teach them to be the best, and I'm definitely gonna teach them what it takes to be the best. In and outside the ring, they got to be the best, and that's a lot of people don't understand that. What I mean by outside the ring, meaning what you do on a day-to-day basis, how you treat people, your intentions. Even when you go spar with people, it doesn't mean that you can go hard once in a while, but your intentions cannot be bad. Like if you have a teammate hurt, you don't finish them.
Sure.
You take a step back and let them recuperate. You know what you could do. So there's a lot of little things that plays a role. Like every time a fan stops me, I go and take pictures of them, and like I'm the most famous guy in Miami right now when it comes to this fight and stuff. Like there's nobody bigger. Well, Masvidal is the only guy bigger than me.
Okay.
And and literally, bro, everywhere I go, I gotta go with securities. As you can see, what happened. The only day I went out to go pick up a bag is I literally went to get paid to go to a club, and things get out of hand completely because I got framed. They attacked me. Um, Bro, I take my time to talk to my fans. Even like sometimes my people are like, bro, come on. I'm like, bro, you don't know what I'm doing, bro. I'm planting my seed to be able to pick it up later on. When it
Sure.
grows, like I plant those seeds of like love and appreciation to all the fans. At the end of the day, we're here because of them. They're the ones that stream our stuff, repost our stuff, buy the tickets, scream for us. So that's what I mean about being a champion in and outside the ring. You got to be a champ outside the ring before you're a champ in the ring. You know.
So you've had a couple of unfortunate incidences. Are you seeing with your rise in success and becoming more famous? Like I feel like it's one of those things like you've had to kind of teach yourself, and now you've just had a couple like I don't want to get into them, but you've had a couple bad experiences lately. So now you're
Yeah.
gonna have to even more like kind of like you said, you have to have security with you. So it's one of those things like I see it. You're gonna have to kind of change the. I mean, you clearly love being like the famous and walking around Miami, but now like it's unfortunate that you want to be available to all these people, but then you got so many people that want to like see you as a way to make money. So
You said it yourself, bro. I didn't even have to say it. Literally what it was, brother. And it's crazy how the narrative changes in the internet. People take a video, only put a video, the part that they want to put, and then make
sure,
you look like this ogre that you're not, you know? And it's crazy. But the good thing is, bro, that my team knows it, BKFC knows it. They all know that I'm a good guy, man. I'm not gonna say I'm the greatest person. I still have a lot to work on, and I'm working every day to be better. But bro, I am the guy that walks in the room with a smile on his face, says hi to everybody out there. I know you or don't know you. Every fighter, good luck, good luck, good luck, good luck. Either you're fighting me or you're fighting my friends. I'm still saying good luck. I'm still telling you, you got this, you know. And I just plant my seeds, man. And that's why God knows who I am, and that's why He protects me so much. And that's why I'm the only guy that probably hasn't really bled in the ring.
yeah. Okay, so you are covered in tattoos. Is there one special tattoo that means more to you than the rest, or I mean, are they all pretty special?
I'll say my kids' names. You know, my kids' names are the most special. Like I said, that's who I do it for.
Sure.
Know? Yeah, man. And I got my first son's name in my right hand, the power hand, the
Okay.
knockout power. That's why I tell him every time I hit somebody with his hand, your power, your strength, how much I love you is what's hitting those people, man. Literally.
It wasn't easy for me to read it. What's your son's name that's on your hand?
Aiden.
Aiden.
I got
That's what I thought
Aiden,
it's in.
Isaiah,
Okay.
and I got Analea right here, my
Perfect.
daughter's name.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Okay, so my last question for you. Every time I interview you guys, I like to reach out to somebody that knows you. So I reached out to Tomahawk Talent Cell, and he said, ask him how serious is the product arsonist, and tell him that you still owe him or he still owes me a Pedialyte.
Oh man, I got him this weigh in. I got him. I do owe him one. I was like dying. He gave me his video. Like, oh man, Tomahawk, man, love that dude, man. The day I almost died, I was 100. Imagine, I was supposed to weigh in at 146. I
Okay.
went down to 137
Oh
by
wow.
mistake. Yeah, it was a mistake I made. That's why I almost died. And bro, he took me to his room. He hydrated me, make sure that I was able to step back in that scale at least at 142. You know, he helped me out a lot, man. He prevented me from fainting like 3 times. Like he helped me, you know, like, and plus we trained together before.
Mm-hmm.
The guy that I look up to, man, because at his age, still moving how he moves, learning at his age, getting better every fight at his age.
Yep.
It's boom, mind blowing, you know. So it's a guy that I really look up to. Like the mind is so strong. Like he motivates me so much. He don't even know it himself. I don't tell him enough. But man, that man motivates the shit out of me, dude. More than the chance, more than everybody. He motivates me, bro. Because I see him how hungry. He's a father of like 5 kids too. So like I'm like, wow, bro. Like you're out here doing this. Like it's crazy, man. And the dude, like, you know, he has some troubles like me. You know, in his
Sure.
life. Spent a lot of time behind bars and stuff. And dude, like, still came out and did something with his life, and he's doing it. And he don't say no to no fights. Whoever's in front of him, he takes it, man. And that's a man to be respected right there. A man to honor, and a man to have as a friend, bro. Cause is an amazing friend. Can't lie.
I think like a good man like realizes you screw up, but at some point you like turn the corner and you go like I'm done. You know what I mean? And I feel like you're probably at that spot and he's at that spot and everybody, big things come to those who like turn over and it's the karma and the positivity and when you start doing good, it comes back to you.
Yeah, man. Like I said, God first. He puts God first, just like myself. So I feel that's a big part in any sport and in life. Period. You put God first, bro. You can never put yourself as a person. You can never give the glory to yourself. At the end of the day, the only reason you're waking up every morning is because of Him. The reason you're making it to the gym, that you don't die on the way to the gym, is because of Him. Because anybody can die anytime. So thanks to the Lord, man. And that's a big thing that we share too. You know.
Okay, so if people wanted to follow you, is Instagram what you're most active on, or what would you suggest? And would you like to give any
Oh
shout
my
outs to
my oh
people?
my! I only have one Instagram.
Okay,
Bryan ElGallo Duran.
I'll throw a
Yes,
link
sir.
up.
Yes, sir. The one that you wrote me
Yep,
to.
cool. I'll put that link in. And then is there any shout outs you want to give or anything, or are you ready to just
Man,
go?
I want to give a shout out to everybody on the February 22nd card. There's so many names,
Yeah.
but my few teammates, Indio, which is Alberto Blast,
Okay.
Tomahawk, Palomino is fighting too. Bryce Henry is fighting too. I used to train with him.
Sure.
There's a bunch of guys in this card that are actually fighting that are really good. Actually, I think Ryan Reber is fighting too,
He
right?
is. Yep, he's on it.
Okay, shout out to that boy too. He's had a hell of a run, 4-0. You know, so the kid has always shown me love since the first time I met him, since his debut. I went to go see him, like not personally see him because I didn't know him, but I
Yeah.
saw him and I went up to him. I told him good job, and he was already like, "Bro, you're an animal," you know. And so me and him always been like cool, you know. I support him all the way. Yeah, bro. Whoever's fighting in that car, man, good luck to all of them. Even good luck to Louis, man. You know,
Sure.
like I have nothing against nobody. I just got to stand on business, and I got to show my family, that I am the guy I say I am, and I am the man that's gonna show the face for them. So that's all it is, man. I just do this for my family and God, obviously.
All right. Well, we appreciate your time. Thanks so much, and we look forward to chatting with you again in the future, bud.
Thank you so much, my brother. Appreciate
Thanks.
you. Have a great year.
Thank you, sir.